Hey, it's me, Xenia. Final project, final video. Yes, I've only recorded this 10 times. Here we go again. So, Huanani K. Trask, I read that maybe 30 times, and it's that good. There's so many things I wanted to quote from that, anywhere from Howley, which are white people, having no interest in learning about Native people, past nor present, to Howley's belief they should have control over and the right to land, as well as Native issues, to the Howley uh, that really feel they're allies to natives, but they treat movements like they're recolonizing their lands and struggles. The relationship between Howley and natives is really it's really long and it's tragic, and as we know from things like Mauna Kea, it's still pretty disappointing. So the quote that I chose is from A Native Daughter on page 248. Is non-natives who insist they feel malama aina reproduce American ideology in its racist insistence that all people within American borders are the same. And this quote, the reason I chose it is because it really resonates right now, mostly because of we're in a moment of time where so many movements are being challenged by white people because they feel excluded. White folks feel excluded. Feeling excluded or feeling attacked by movements that are not white centered it's a big issue. So Malema Aina, first of all, my understanding of Malema Aina, it's a native word for land and to care for the land, and encompasses all the struggles natives have in regard to their land. Like so many native words, it's really hard to translate the meaning because English is so simplistic, whereas native words have a wider depth of meaning. I'm kind of a linguist, so I won't get stuck there. So yeah, let's get back to relationships across differences. When Trask talked about Malcolm X, for example, I was like, yes. And at the same time, like, yikes. When people are constantly renewing ideas about social justice, that should have been part of the conversation anyway, for a long time. I can't help but think we haven't come as far as our ancestors worked that hard for. Yeah, Malcolm X would not be too happy about that. But I digress. Malcolm X talked about organizational separatism, which is simply keeping white folks out of the room when Black, Brown, and Native are speaking, and keeping white folks in their own lanes, which really means working with other white folks. That's pretty simple, right? Um, so we should be working on our own issues, whereas white folks really need to be working with other white people, um, and bringing them knowledge and being supportive of these other movements, instead of trying to center themselves. So bringing up Afro Natives, I think it was Ty Simpson from the MMIW for BLM for Sovereign Bodies Institute on the virtual panel on Facebook. It was really wonderful. The difference between having a heritage and being claimed by people, not being claimed because of anti-blackness. They're shared experiences, but they're not the same. So I'm sorry, I just kind of quoted Ty Simpson because it was that good. But there are similarities, and we can't deny that. Even the history is very similar, and we know it's not exactly the same. Obviously, um, like someone else said, we need to honor those shared experiences and not erase the differences, and that's really really important. Bringing these movements together, especially for communities of people who are both Black and Native, it's important to discuss and to start recognizing, on everyone's behalf. So, the importance of creating awareness around MMIW and BLM is not just for certain events or a certain time of year, but more importantly, it shouldn't be reactive. It needs to be an ongoing conversation. Another idea I heard was not to start something new, but to join movements that have been in place for years. Everyone wants to kind of reinvent the wheel, remake the wheel, as they say. Um, there's so many amazing movements to be involved in, and another person said put your money into these movements, get involved, even read. And I feel like sometimes the best ideas are really very simple ones. um, anyway, that's all I have time for, and it was really hard to make it only 5 or 6 minutes, but that's what I got. Okay,